Good morning. I got Active Trader Pro up. I've got to reduce my volume here. And I'm going to go into YouTube. It's a mistake. I didn't see that one. Oh, I gotta watch that one. Mac customization. Hit the thumbs up button. It does help, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea if it helps or not. I'm going to try and... Morning, Zephin. Scans. See, I'm a little more blonde today. It's step one. In it's a 4-step process. Not as blonde as I'm going to be. I am too orange. It was the first coloring last night. By the way, your DO, you guys have been doing well on this one. Nice job by James and you. Thanks, man. Except the other, the female species does not agree. I have gotten so much hate from my female friends. My dentist, she tells me, she saw my picture of me yesterday, and she writes back, she goes, your hair adds five beauty points out of 10. She goes, you're down to a 2. Hey, as long as she gives me free dental care, because your boy doesn't have insurance. If I didn't color it, I would grow it longer than it was, and then donate it. But because I hate the color, I can't donate it. Wow, Taiwan Semiconductor's up 2%, so the chips are moving. NVIDIA is down because of their potential dilution. Cleveland Cliffs is up. Did we buy it at the right time? $20.68. You're almost at your 10% gain. Not quite, but I bought it $20.95 or something like that. Morning, Cooper. Morning, Brian. What's KOS? I know that. Cosmos Energy. Is this one of your small cap ones? Ooh, we just had a cross up 848. But God, you had a cross up at 848 and the RSI's at 70. Right after their earnings. They must have had good earnings. Let's look at it on the 65-minute candles. Here's a look at KOS on the 65-minute candles. Ooh, any reaction is an overreaction. Look at that. You'd be out of it right now in the day trading strategy. I'd probably wait for the, it's at 809 in the pre-market. Yeah, Zephin, he's great, isn't he? Go follow him on Twitter. That's what this one is. This is the 65-minute one that I use. And if you deep test it, just to give you an idea, Brian and Zephin, this 65-minute candle, this goes back 5 years on KOS. I don't even know if the stock lasts for 5 years. It says it's 5 years. But it's 7,000 candles is what this goes back on. If you would have bought and held the stock, you would lose 3%. Now, within these 7,000 candles, there are 658 positions taken, but you make 380%, again, over 5 years. I was watching, I don't know if you guys and I got to show your comment, but if you guys follow Bob Menery on Instagram or TikTok, he doesn't do YouTube anymore because he's He's a fairly conservative guy, I think, from a political standpoint. Ironically, he's one of the dirtiest MFers, I know, but he was funny because he walked up to a guy. He went to the movies, and the ticket taker had these huge dreads, and the guy was like, "Yeah, 13 years. I've been growing my hair." And Menery says, "Well, what would it take to?" And I think it's on his stories now. What would it take to? How much? What's the dollar amount to get you to cut it today, right now? And the guy goes, "No money." And then Menery goes, "What about 50,000 right now?" He goes, "I'll give you 50,000." The guy goes, No, it's not good. And he looks at him. He goes, 50,000? I can't imagine being that committed to a hairstyle to go 13 years. Because part of the reason I do this, and Brian and Zevin, I think you guys, Zevin I know is younger. Brian, I think you're younger too. You'll get it when you're older. You just want some changes. You got to change your life. You got to, when you're younger, you're constantly in a state of change. When you're older, you kind of get set in your ways. And so I rather than get set in my ways, I like changes. So I cut my hair, I color my hair, I do things differently. I wear, and part of the reason why by the way I like the short hair is I hate choices. And when I get out of bed in the morning, I don't want a choice. I don't want to style my hair. I don't want to do anything. I want to get out of bed. I want to become productive. So, TUP. Whoa, you're kidding. TUP. Good move, Cooper. Sometimes it just makes sense to not hold through earnings. Yeah, they're down 25%. Ironically, it's funny because here in this 4-hour algorithm, the 65-minute algorithm, this is the day trading algorithm that David Yoakum came up with. And by the way, Zephin, I have not watched it yet, but TrendSpider did have a masterclass on strategies last night. It was a live stream on YouTube. I have not watched it, but they were asking people to bring your strategy to the live chat. I was overly exhausted from all of my activity yesterday and didn't wind up hopping on. But this is ironic. Cooper, the 65-minute doesn't have you out. It still has you in from 394. So it's going to wind up getting you out with a loss here. Huh. You're younger. 42. I was still in my prime at 42, Brian. I'm 52. I'll be 53. But Zevin's younger than both of us. He is, he's probably half your age, I think. But he's smarter than I am. I know that already. Look at this gap up here at $5. But they lost 24 cents per share. Let's see what it looks like on the 4-hour. Because I have a feeling you'd still be in the 4-hour too. Thanks, Christian. Oh, look at this. Cooperman, even my 4-hour algorithm got you right in yesterday on the afternoon candle. Oh, God. I'm glad I didn't bring this one up as a... Oh my God, you got to buy it. Tupperware brands, man. I mean, where are you going? There's no moves up in this. I mean, you're hitting that 200 a day, so you kind of hit it and bounce down. Ooh, that's ugly. Okay, let's go to scans. I'm going to start scanning. Target had a cross-up. Hold on. I think we're in the middle of a cross-up on this one. Did it have another one? No, 168.42. Whoa. TGT. I like that one. Yeah, Zephan isn't even old enough to drink. Not that I drink either. At your age, I drank, I think, 7. Yeah, I drank a lot at your age, I think. Way more than I should have. I like the sober life. I have 3 friends. 2 that had problems, but 3 friends just went sober. And for the most part, by the way, I have kicked edibles as well. I am only on a every now and then edible. Coal is crossing up. We talked about UCO getting a cross up. It's down 1% today. Yeah, and Tupperware for me, I don't like plastic. So give me glass, give me Pyrex. I don't even like, and if you cook with nonstick stuff, I mean, you should, I think the movie's called Muddy Waters. Go and watch that, and then cook with your nonstick stuff. It's just, I mean, the chemicals that are in our society. And now I say that, and I'm not standing as a person, oh my God, you can't do this and blah, blah, blah. Well, expat, oh my God, I've got so many that crossed up. I'm not the greatest at avoiding things. And listen, my sugar addiction is unbelievable. Bingo, bingo. That's an interesting one. I do like this company, but they ain't earning money. But that's under the 200 day, and it's getting that little button hook right here. I'm going to go over SPY, by the way. In my opinion, my personal opinion, and I'll look at SPY in a little bit. I think we're coiled, and there's the fun part. The dogs. But we're coiled, and when I looked at it, we're either going much higher or we're going down to the October lows. Lows, I'm not going to bring up lows. I'm going to bring them up on their earnings, but it just wasn't a blowout for me. Chips are crossing up. Plug, I don't like Plug. This is a PBW is an ETF. Kind of like QCLN, but QCLN I like for the what does let me see PFF. Cuz PFF, I had PFF for years. Yeah. So PFF is an ETF, preferred shares. They have a 5.84% dividend. Year to date, you're up 7%. Let me see. Components. Because they were a big Wells Fargo. Let's see. Key facts. Accept all. What the fuck? I hate cookies, man. Holdings. There we go. Yeah, Wells Fargo is one of their big ones. Citigroup, Bank of America, PGE, Danaher, Nextera, JP Morgan. I had, just so you guys know, I'll bring this up. I'm going to bring this up. I had this for years. And when you look at PFF here, and I'll go into, we'll look at a monthly. They, for a very long time, and I think I bought this around this area, the financial crisis. And I think I want to say I bought it at 20. It had fallen so much, but it gave such a big dividend. And down here, I had a friend's uncle who was a multimillionaire who basically said, I am buying PFF, and because it gave off of a 5 or 6 or it might have been a 7% dividend. Hold on, I gotta get the dogs. Okay, I'll get you a blanket in your bed. Okay. And so, back to the PFF story. So this guy had, I want to say $10 million bucks. What's 5% of 10 million?
It's fine.
Yeah. So he had about 10 million bucks. He took it all and he lived a really good lifestyle. He had about 10 million bucks in the bank, I should say. And he just pumped it into PFF. And he said, you know what? $500,000, I'm happy with it. There's no, at that point, you couldn't invest in bonds. They were just, the bond return was horrible. The outlook for the American kind of, economy was, hey, we don't know if we're going lower, blah, blah, blah. It was really bad. And PFF just had this, let's look at quarterly. I don't think that they have more. Yeah, they don't have more data. But it almost had fallen just too much. And then I kept adding to it in 2010 just because. Look at that trading range. Plus, you're putting off a 5% dividend. So, what's TYO? Is that one of the treasury ones? Yeah, the 10-year. I would be a little, let's see, let's scan this one. Actually, let's run that strategy test around this. I would be a little bit careful of the bond funds. And I don't know this one in particular. Let's see, TYO. What do they do? Let's see if FinViz gives it. The fund invests in swap agreements, futures contracts, short positions, or other financial instruments that in combination provide inverse or short leveraged exposure. Okay. I'd be careful of that one. Honestly, Cooper, I mean, you've got your own decision. The 10-year, from what I know, is just under 4%. We haven't gone above 4% since November. And they were talking about this last night. I just remembered it. But it's interesting. Yeah, it's 3 times short. So when it goes up, the 4% right now, you're good on this one. Until we get that rate increase. So if it's a half point rate increase, I mean short term. Let's see. The average person has, everybody has microplastic. Does your algorithm only work with Fidelity or can use it? So the algorithm is in TrendSpider, and I don't give it to people. It would work. I mean, I haven't built it in anything else, but remember I call it algorithm. It is a back testing strategy. And I will give you the 60. If you watch the TrendSpider video, you can see the 65 minute. I mean, the 65 minute is nice and easy. You can set that one up in Webull. But I don't give out free nilly-willy my 4-hour algorithm, the one that I built. And the only reason I don't, and again, it's just personal preference, but the only reason I don't is, listen, I worked for like a year and a half on this damn thing, and honest to God, you look at it and you're like, how the hell did that take you a year and a half to come up with? Simpler was better. And we had built a bunch and just never could get it built better. And it plays in this middle ground. Doesn't always work, doesn't perform better, but it outperforms in a bear market. It underperforms in a bull market. So I just don't give it out just because, I do get compensated from TrendSpider when you sign up. And so that's how I make money. I don't give it out, but it would work. I mean, as long as they have 4-hour candles. I don't know if Webull has 4-hour candles. Fidelity does not have 4-hour candles. Fidelity only has the standard candles. So TrendSpider works. But you could probably do it in TradingView, I think. If you knew it. I'm not going to give it to you, though, Brian. Okay, let me go back to scanning. We did not owned. Let me see. XPEV is in there. Oh, this is the Amazon of Africa, Jumia. I think that's what it is. BNGO is. Lowe's crossed up. Lowe's has a funny one, man. Look at all those gaps above it. I mean, it's clearly using that 200-day as its support level. You know what? I'm going to bring it up. Because you do have some gaps. I don't know if you could make a bunch on this one, but we'll bring it up. PDD. We'll bring up BABA 2 new. JD. All of those Chinese ones. XPEV has a cross up. Ooh. Yeah, I just don't. I mean, it depends on where you think that we're going, James. And I was watching a really good guy last night who was saying, hey, if you had $100,000, where would you put it? And it was interesting because I was thinking, well, would I put money in? I'm like, I have the money sitting on the sidelines. I just haven't. I haven't done anything with it. So, but they do have good charts. I think they're both good companies. Personally, Home Depot is geared towards the contractor market. Home Depot or Lowe's is more geared towards the DIY market. So I don't know which one's better. Coin has a cross up. We'll bring up Coin. CRISPR. I like CRISPR, man. CRISPR is just, they're going to start making money at some point in time. It's just a matter of time. And that thing's going to freaking explode. Sandstorm Gold. Gold went up. Beam Technologies, therapeutic. Cat. Cat had a cross up. Look at that. Boy, I got a lot of freaking. So bots actually do the trading for you, Zephin. Bots will go out to your trading platform. I don't think it works in Fidelity. It does work in TD Ameritrade and Interactive Brokers, and I think Webull and Robinhood and things of that sort. But it allows you to do bots. They just sent me an email. Was it Substack? Hold on, let me move you over here. I'm going to go check my email. What's the platform that they have? Welcome to New Jersey Transit Rewards. Wow. Let's see. Signal Stack. They want me to become a here's the list of brokers that it works with. Signal Stack is their bot stuff. I think you get a certain amount of bots for free. I don't trust bots. TD Ameritrade, TradeStation, Trader, WOOX, Ally Financial, Optimus Futures. You can see Ninja Trader. You get 25 free signals when you sign up. And then you pay for signals on top of that. And it basically works where it goes in and buys the thing for you. So it's interesting, but I don't trust any anything that the other thing you should know is when you do those bot things, I've had 3 listeners reach out to me who have done bots, who are programmers way beyond me, who have said, hey, the price that you, with the bots, if you do market orders, the bots typically don't match the price that the alert was given on. If you do limit orders, sometimes you're priced out of when the price gets in there. So the results are skewed based on just the program kind of saying, hey, you're already in there, but blah, blah, blah. Okay, down 30, cat crossed up. Why is that? I don't understand why this one. Okay, cat's the only one. We're going to go down NASDAQ 100. Look at all of this. Hoo-wee. PDD we have. CTAS. Cintas. Somebody brought up Cintas to me earlier. They just crossed there. You still got 427. I don't like that one. Dollar Tree crossed up. They just had their earnings. Good earnings, too. They're down 3.21%. And this is down because, here, you got a big gap up there. You got a big gap down here on the weekly. Hoofa. Let's see. SCHW. You're getting me away from my scans, but SCHW, this is the weekly chart. You're kind of in that. You're kind of in the 921. The 50 days moving down. The 200 is still moving up, so you're in a positive thing. Let's go to a daily. You're under the 50-day. You just had the golden cross here where it was trading about 77, where it's at right now. So you moved up here to 86. Financials have been coming down. They're past their earnings. They're past their ex-dividend date. So it's down below on the 9-day. We can go to the algorithm, the 4-hour algorithm to look at. Run. This is Schwab. You'd be out with a 2% gain. And it's still on the downward slide. You're kind of using that 200-day. Let's put in the auto fib. This is auto fib, by the way. This is a Fibonacci. And I believe Fibonacci is based on daily, or I don't know, it might be based on just this chart. But you can see you got this support at 77. You don't have any support up above there. But you might see a bounce here, but I mean, if you're wrong about this 77 support where you're trading at right now, then you're down at 73, about 5% with your next leg down. Let's look at it on a daily. Yeah, 73.12. See, it just puts it in the Fibonacci's. It's an interesting one. Morning, Larry. I like AutoFib. I posted in the private Facebook group, by the way, a strategy that I thought was pretty good. Let's see. Let's go to Facebook and we'll go to the group. By the way, if you're here, hit the thumbs up button and make sure you're subscribed. I'm about to hit 500 subscribers. I ain't all that, but 500, man. Compared to the amount of people that listen to the freaking podcast. So here's how, to look at stuff. One, you look at the candlesticks. See that right there? You look at the resistance. It's clear. Look all the way back here. You can see there's a clear resistance level that it has to break through in order to support that, because you're seeing it kind of go down and up. Do your Fibonacci. And you can see the Fibonacci's are right there. Draw your trend line. From the top, you hit 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Final product, it indicates that we're going down and you should sell. So it's a good little tool if you want just basic stuff. But yeah. Okay, let's go back to doing scans. Market scanner. We did the HARC holdings. I did the Dow 30 already too. We did the NASDAQ 100, and I was going to look through some of those. Baker Hughes, no. That one's still, it's just too little of a gap. It's kind of nice, but VRTX. This is Broadcom. Their earnings are coming up. Could Broadcom blow it away? They did? I didn't look. Show. I don't know, Cooper, man. I don't know why it blocks your things. In TrendSpider, there is the market breadth stuff. I got to look at that again. I don't know what this heat map thing is. There is market breadth, see? So you go into other data, market breadth, and you can see by stock whether it's hot, and see how it goes hot. Just the fear and greed index, I think, is, that's crypto. You can look at that. We are in the middle ground right now. Okay, they failed to save my workspace. Okay, I gotta refresh. Bum, 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 bum. They want me to log back in. It's in this other data, Zephin, if you're in TrendSpider. I'm going to turn it off. Splits. Here's the dark pool money. You can see dark pool money. Mentions on Wall Street Bet, retail traders, activity, percentage. See, like, for instance, if we go to, I'm going to take that out. Well, I guess I got to put it in. But let's do strategy tester, and let's do Tesla. And then if we go to other data and we go to retail trader, look at the retail trading. That's huge. Huge increase along that doubling of stock. Just a huge increase. So I'm telling you, TrendSpider has so much information that you can use to your advantage. It's just crazy to me. I don't know if I should bring up Broadcom or not. AVGO. Marvell. There's a chip one too. They're coming up right before earnings and they got to cross up. It's a little high. You know what? I'm going to bring up both of them. AVGO, AMAT, and Marvell. Chips all crossing up before earnings. I'm going to put that in as Texas Instruments too, TXN. But they already had their earnings. You're getting a good bounce off the 200 on Texas Instruments. But it's expensive. I mean, to get a big move on this one, you got to go up close to the 52-week high. And you do have, I mean, when you look at it, you got multiple tops here at about 185. So you could have 10% in there, but doesn't, I mean, it's just a mainstay. It's kind of like IBM. You can invest in it if you want. Probably not going to kill you. But I think Deckers are the shoes that I think Warren Buffett says that was his worst trade ever, if I remember. Texas Instrument, Target, BlackRock. Look at BlackRock bouncing off the 200-day. I'm going to bring that one up. BLK. Shitty Group. We have a Shitty Group cross up. ABGO, COF, COF, Capital One Financial. It's one that a lot of financial folks like. It's just too gappy for me. MetLife, Insurance, MasterCard. You're in that ascending triangle. Caterpillar, GE, cross up. That's just too hot of a stock. I mean, God, look at that one. I mean, you're probably going to 100, but I don't know. Let's look at the energy sector. There should be a bunch of moves here. Energy. Yep. Holy crap. Rig with a cross up. Would have been nice to buy it right after earnings with the any reaction is an overreaction down to 561. But you do have, $7 in this one. I'm going to bring it up. Why not? Rig. I think I brought it up yesterday. RPC. That chart's ugly. Empire Petroleum. GLP. You know what I want to look at? I want to look at ET. That's the one with the insider trading, I think. Where was it? Was Energy Transfer the one with insiders? I'm going to be right back. Let's see. Okay. I think it was energy transfer. I know it was Friday. I'm looking at my my notes. Just look it up. I think it was the energy transfer. Woo, excuse me. Yeah, there it is. Energy transfer. Let's look what this chart looks like. Hey, James, you may have missed it. I told Zephan, you guys did well on your DO transfer purchase. Nice job. This is what's interesting. See, we got in at 1304, got you out. You're down at 1267. This guy bought at he bought 40 million bucks at about $13, and you're at 1268. 12, I mean, just look at the support levels. I mean, you're kind of at this one, but 1222 is your next support level. Let's look at a daily. It's a little clearer on the daily. I mean, they had their earnings. They did well on earnings. Boat shoes. I'll look at Dak. James is big on his boat shoes, I guess. But I think this is the outdoor company. I don't think it's just shoes. What does Deck do? I think, aren't they the footwear and accessories? Yeah. It's more than just shoes, I think. Casual lifestyle use and high performance activities. A lot of people seem to sell out at 400. PE is 2. PE of 22 for a footwear company. I mean, Nike's at 33. You know, if you're talking apparel, 19. VFW. VFC Corporation, I think, yeah, 23. They have a 4% dividend, but they're not doing anything great. Okay, I think I got enough to do an episode here. OKYO. Let's see. Oh, hi, Mr. Putty. The kitty is up in the window, so the dogs will. I had boat shoes, Larry. Absolutely 100% had boat shoes. Without socks. Sailed with a boy's named Chad. I was telling my friend last night. I grew up in Princeton. One of the people I actually grew up with was an actor named Ethan Hawke. And I remember he came back from doing a movie with Steven Spielberg, and he was telling me all about the experience and stuff. I don't want to go into the whole personal stories of Ethan Hawke's childhood, but just know he's one fine human being. He's a good man. A good man. You know what? You bring it up. Good one. Okay, well, let me look at OKYO on. By the way, Boyle is crashing if you haven't seen it. And it's not crashing like, oh my God, it's lost its support. It's just crashing so that we may have an opportunity to buy it. OKYO, you're right. It just went from 150 to 236. But it's not a squeeze because it says there's only 0.14. Let me see. Let me see if this article has anything on it. Here's what I'm looking at. Stock fell 31% to $1.52 during Wednesday's pre-market. The market value of their outstanding shares is $33.1 million. So it doesn't tell us anything about. Let me see. Let me look it up in FinViz. It doesn't look like there's a huge short squeeze on it, though. OKYO, but it has. I don't even see anything on in FinViz on it. Let's see. This is an investing.com article. Lipid conjugated chemarin peptide agonist of the Chem R23. Oof. Treats eye disease. I have no idea what this motherfucker's saying. Let's see, Investor's Place, why it was down. This will explain it in common English. The latest news from OK Pharmacal is that, stop with the pop-ups. Drug for phase 2 clinical trial has cleared customers in the U.S., intends to use the drug for trial, treat eye disease, dry eye disease, which I have. To go along with the company is moving forward with investors aren't reacting well to the latest update from OKYO Pharma. Even so, we aren't seeing heavy trading with shareholders selling the stock. Instead, only about 200,000 shares have changed hands. For comparison, the company's daily average was about 410. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of research on it, but your 10-day, let's go back over. Your 10-day average is 2,398,000 shares. Right now, you've traded 1.7 million. It's a volume thing, and I think it's because we'll go back to Active Trader or to TrendSpider. Look at the daily. So if we just go to the daily, you had this pump on February 17th. Look at the volume candle. I mean, this is volume right here, okay? So you had the pump. This is a 49% move. The low was $2.40. The high was $7. It closed at $3.74. And yesterday, it opened at $2.57, got to $2.70, closed at $2.23. It was down 13%. So right now you're up 4% to $2.33 in pre-market. I'd be careful with that one. I would be real careful with that one because if I'm looking at this from a daily perspective, I don't have to. 1, 2, 3. I mean, from the highs, you're looking at a 66% down just to the middle of this candle. So, and if we just put in our auto fib, you're not even, I mean, 261, 244, 233. You're trading at 233. You're trading at this mid support level right here. If you break that, your next one is $1.95. So I'd be careful with it. NCS. I think I saw that one. I gotta get started on this thing too. Wow. In Wednesday pre-market, one medical stock increased by 99%. The company's market cap stands at 6.3. Doesn't give me any information. I think it's in this pre-market movers. Yeah, it was up here. Files to withdraw registration statement. Receives investment bank analyst rating upgrade. That's why it. Let's see. Files to withdraw registration. I have no idea what that fucking means. I have no idea what that means. Hellbiz is up 36%. One sec. I mean, you can find stocks like this all the time. China Pharma, CPHI, is at 82 cents. It's up 21%. You can find stuff like that all the time. Did I see a double happening? No. Okay. I mean, I thought when I looked at Apple on the daily that you could clearly see 155 right here is a fairly good resistance level through the year. Even 150 if you want to put it right there. And I'm on FinViz so everybody can see. Sherry, by the way, high five for your. I don't think I announced that it was good to have you back yesterday enough. And congratulations on the jury duty. You will see another change tomorrow. And I told all the youngins in here that when you get older, at least I do, you need change in your life. You need fun. So, yeah, it'll be blonder tomorrow. I'm going white. I do this every now and then. And Sherry, it's funny. I told Zephan. I think Zephan was the only one in here. My dentist texted me yesterday that on the 0 to 10 scale of hotness, I lost 5 points by shaving my head. She's like, your hair is what makes you good looking. So I got that going for me. I told her, as long as you give me free dental since your boy doesn't have insurance. Cleveland Cliffs, I tell you what, this is what's crazy. And I think it was James that said, hey, the market's turned red. Yeah, I'm seeing the market turn red. I'm seeing a lot of red in the core portfolio, but ones that are holding up are chips. TSM is still up 2% in pre-market in the core portfolio. And the other one that I purchased yesterday, and if you missed it, I bought Cleveland Cliffs yesterday. Yeah, my personality, I mean, listen, from a 0 to 10 scale, my personality lifts me up at least 4 points. But thank you, Sherry. Joe, it is going to get M&M White right now. I mean, here, for those of you that don't know about hair and processes, I have red. It's turned dark brown in my old age. I really don't have that much gray. But and even my dad doesn't have that much gray. I think over here is kind of gray on my dad. But the way hair works and the way dyeing works of darker hair, you have to go through a process. So I put coconut oil on it to kind of hydrate it a little bit before I actually, so like a half hour before I'll put coconut oil on it. Then I'll wash that out. It kind of, make sure that it's moisturized. Then I put the dye into it. And I personally have to dye it between 3 and 4 times. And you can't do that all in one day because it just damages the hair too much. And I've done it before where your hair is just, brittle and dry. My hair, thankfully, is like straw. It doesn't fall out. It's super, super strong, so I can't kill my hair. But I have to do it. I will do another dye today. It should turn from this brassiness to a little bit whiter. I won't use toner. It's just the bleach. And I'm using a 40 developer on it. And then, and by the way, if any, like you guys asked me a lot of questions about stock and stuff, and I know there was somebody in the private Facebook group that I mentioned to. How do you find stuff? Google. How did I learn about hair dye? Google. I watched YouTube videos. I didn't go to like a hair person and say, hey, what do I do? I did walk into Sally's and I played dumb. I was like, hey, my girlfriend wants me to dye my hair and I'm trying to find the stuff for her. She's a beautician, so I need the stuff. They were like, oh, yeah, over here. But mostly it was YouTube. So I'll dye it tomorrow for the second time. Today for the second time. So 2 days in a row. I will take Thursday and Friday and Saturday off, and I will dye it again Sunday. And it should be white by then. If it's not white enough, I will wait another 2 days and then dye it again. And by the fourth time, it's usually pretty good. By the way, one of the things that I'm going to do in the podcast is I took a look back, and there is no reason for you to go back and listen to 1-year-old podcasts that I've done. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 stocks that I covered last year that I said might be good opportunities on a 1 year. Sherry, man, I've seen Elvis. I just saw that movie the other night. There ain't nothing good about sideburns, man. No way. But to get back to the podcast, James, one of them is a shipper that had a 28% dividend payout as long as you bought it 1 year ago last. It was, the podcast was, hey, we got a 28% dividend payout. It's going to probably bounce back up after you get it. And I think I made the 28% payout, and then I think it was like a 10% additional for just holding it another couple of days. Now, I timed it almost perfectly, I think, if I look at it. But okay, let me go into the podcast. I'm going to start with SPY. Oh, let me bring up, I'm going to bring up CLF. Because I did buy CLF yesterday. We're going to look at SPY. And here, just to give you guys the exclusive, it's not necessarily turning, but it's not looking bad. I don't see a turn. I do see some type of thing. Let's see if there's also let's see, the market breadth. Yeah, it's kind of turning down a little bit on the market breadth. Let's look at fear and greed. We're kind of in that middle, the gray. You're closer to the greed. Short volume. It's kind of in the middle. Okay. Here we go. Good morning. It's hump day. Wednesday, March 1st. If you didn't subscribe to YouTube, I have a different hairstyle today. So go over to YouTube. I will not be putting this on Facebook, on the private Facebook group, but go to YouTube, hit subscribe, and you'll get to see my new hairstyle. So, yeah, I'm not going to say anything else on the podcast about it because too many people listen to the podcast and aren't subscribed to YouTube. So I know how many people listen to the podcast, and I know how many YouTube subscribers I have. So make sure that you're just do the gentleman's agreement. Go over there, and especially if you listen till the end. But I'm bringing this up at the beginning because I always bring it up at the end. The other thing I want to bring up at the beginning is, holy hell, thank you for signing up to Visible. I'm not sure which episode it was, but I will probably be changing the link here soon. because I've got a year of service for free, and so they're sponsoring me, but it's a referral program. So yeah, I love the service. Honest to God, I mean it's Verizon service. It's been great. Let's look at SPY. I was just saying on YouTube, I'm not exactly sure. In my mind, we're coiling up. We're down below the 9-day. This is the 4-hour look. Our algorithm has not gotten you back in. We just got out with a 6% on this one, but you're kind of coiling up. The 50-day is kind of rolling over. So the real question is, where are we going? Well, the RSI is down at 39. The MACD is under the oscillator. Looks like it's just leveling off. We could be going down. I think if we do go down, you're looking at 391, which is 3,900, 3,910 on the S&P. I think that's where you're going. I can't imagine that we get down to the 38 or the October lows of 36, so 368, somewhere around there. I do think that if we are to go down, I don't think you're covering this gap down here. But again, we haven't had confirmation. The candlesticks are getting there and telling us where we're going. Patience. Just patience. I mean, honest to God, just patience. You look at QQQ, and it's kind of the same thing. QQQ is leveling off even a little bit more. You've got 3 or 4 candles here that have kind of leveled off. Still not in. We got out with a 12% gain on February 21st from this one, and that was from the entire January. You could have gotten out much more up at this 312 level, but again, the algorithm plays in the middle. It doesn't time the top, doesn't time the bottom. It plays in the middle. You are having a MACD. If we wind up a little bit positive today, that MACD might move up for a cross-up. Now, the question is, where does that cross-up lead us? Well, you can see the Bollinger Band cinched up here, and we had to make a move because the Bollinger Band said, oh, hey, we're too close. We're going to make a move. Well, it made the move down. So this Bollinger Band cinched up here. We got to make a move. Where do we go? Boom, we go up. Bollinger Bands, when they cinch up, you're about ready to make a move. These still look wide open. So I'm not exactly sure where we're going, if we're going to continue down. If we continue down, that one continues down. If we start moving sideways, this one tends to come up. This one tends to come down, which means a cinch up, and then you get another move. But from a support level, even if we do like an auto fib, and we look at these support levels, 292 on the Qs to 299 is the support. So between that level, if we continue to just move forward, you should start to see it move up. Now, when I talk about patience, pick your stocks. We said materials are XLB was one of the sectors that was good. Cleveland Cliffs, I bought it yesterday. I think the algorithm said $20.68. Your boy chased it. I was trying to trade it on my phone. I'm a boomer. Couldn't trade it on my phone. I bought it at like $20.90, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I didn't quite get it on the algorithm price, but I got in. We're at $21.69 in pre-market. It's up about 2%. Slow mover. I'm not expecting anything like crazy, but I did buy it. I think this is a $30 stock. Automakers, they need to make autos. Cleveland Cliffs is supplying with the steel. Infrastructure, Cleveland Cliffs is the one supplying them with the steel. So I do think that there's opportunity here once things start. And they've even said, hey, we have pricing power. We increased prices. We've kept costs down as much as we can. We've increased prices, and we didn't see anyone flinch. So if you have patience, you can make it with certain stocks. But I think from an overall standpoint, I just don't know where the market's going. We had some earnings yesterday. FSLR, which is First Solar, blew out earnings, and they guided higher. They are up 6% in the pre-market. This should do really well for solar stocks. We had a cross-up of Solar Edge yesterday. This one's up 1% to 321. The cross-up yesterday was at 311. So, you need 30 for a 10% kind of gain on that one to 340. You're at 321. You're about halfway there. Enphase we talked about as well. That one had a cross up right after earnings. Any reaction in the market is an overreaction. This one had a cross up here at 210. You're at 212, up about 1%. So First Solar, really good. You're past your ex-dividend date. You're past your earnings on most of these, but solar stocks I think are good. Rivian posted their earnings. And kind of like I said, they're having a lot of production problems. They announced that their guidance for next year was only going to be about 50,000 vehicles. Well, Fisker announced that they're not even in production yet. Rivian is actually rolling out trucks now. They're only going to produce 50,000 vehicles next year. They have some problems. The stock is down about 8.5% to 17. I do think that there's a floor at about 15 on this one that you may want to look at. Their losses, most likely it's because they're a luxury vehicle maker. This one and Lucid have problems. If you are going into a recession, if you're going into a tightening period, if you're looking at the consumer getting weaker, these are companies that are going to have problems. These are companies that do not have the government funding behind them because the cars just cost too much. And they haven't been in production fast enough. Now, the U.S. Postal Service did say, I think it was that they announced that they were going to buy electric vehicles from Ford. So Ford may have a pop. I think it was a small purchase of like 50,000 or something. They're up 2% at 12/31. The kiss of death was Cramer said last night that he talked to Jim Farley, and Jim Farley promised him that it was going to be good, that this was going to be the bottom and this was going to be the start of something good. So Jim Cramer said, Jim Farley, you're on the record. Well, anybody remember when he had Meta on and he said, Mark Zuckerberg, you're the greatest thing ever. And this metaverse stuff is fantastic. What was it? 2 weeks later during the earnings call? I'm sorry. I want to apologize. The hubris. Whatever, douche. So don't look at the actual story. I do think Ford doesn't have a cross up and we're not in it yet. But I do think around this $12.20 kind of makes it $12 might be the pivot point on this one. If you go below 12, I think you may buy it. They're not making. I mean, these guys just it's a horrible company. I mean, I saw the Ford F1 Lightning yesterday. It looked like a piece of trash. I mean, it looked plastic. It just looked like plastic. I didn't like the look of it. Versus the Cybertruck that they're going to roll out today at Tesla's Investor Day. I mean, come on. I saw the inside of the Cybertruck. I was like, oh my God, I want one now. 100% personal opinion on this. This has nothing to do with the stock. My view of the F-150 versus, there are a lot of people who like the F-150 way more than the Cybertruck. I have friends who say that Cybertruck is crap. They don't like the look of it. They'll never buy it, blah, blah, blah. Tesla was down yesterday, I believe. They're up slightly today by 0.2%. It's trading at 206. Market just opened. The MACD is a little bit up there. I don't, there's rumors of this one. There's two things that Tesla, the master plan is going to be big. There's rumors that there's going to be a plant in Mexico. And the big rumor that may send the stock absolutely flying is a Model 2. If he announces a $25,000 electric vehicle, you could see this thing flying. Tesla also announced they're opened up some chargers to third parties like Chevy, the Chevy Volt. You can charge your Ford at some chargers. They're opening them up. Tesla has a proprietary plug that is significantly smaller, by the way, than any other plug, but they are opening up what's called the CCS adapter. They have to retrofit their chargers for it. It's a big hassle, but they also announced a membership program where if you want to use the Tesla chargers with your CCS, you join the membership program. So it's kind of interesting. I found it kind of, hey, let's take a look at this, but it's not going to be a huge revenue generator. But the big news today, if he announces a Model 2, $25,000 vehicle, I think that's enormous. They're also remaking the Model Y. Nothing significant, but They have put feelers out there for a Model Y retrofit. Okay. One of the things I wanted to go over was I've been doing the podcast, I think now for about 2 years. I think I started April 2022, 2021, somewhere around there. But it might have been 3 years. I didn't get really into it where I was doing daily until last year. So I took a look at the notes. You don't have to go back and listen to last year. I mean, obviously every day I'm kind of teaching you guys different things. But I took a look at the notes and I said, okay, let me look at the stocks. What did they do for 1 year? And so let's take a look at the charts of these stocks where I was looking at them 1 year ago. If we go to March 1st, and I said Target had a cross up here. Ironically, it had a cross up at 198. You're trading at 167 today. The market's kind of taking it down. You can see that big gap in there. If you're looking at the screen, you can kind of see all of the buys. You know, we had this buy right before earnings, and boy, we lost a ton in this. The algorithm over 1,000 candles, which is 2 years, makes you 18% on target. Buying and holding for 2 years loses you 0.35%. So while you see a bunch of buys and a bunch of sells, your average win is 8.17%. Well, ironically, today we have a buy at 168.42. You're down pre-market, in the market. 166 is where it's trading today. I personally own this one. My average purchase price, I think, is 111. I bought it a while ago. But I was talking this one up March 1st of last year at 198. I thought it was a great buy. I believe I may have added to my position at that time. But again, my average purchase price is 111. The other one I was talking about on March 1st, I think I have about 9 of them to go over. Devon Energy. March 1st. Let's take a look at it. We're going to move back to March 1st of last year. We're looking at the algorithm through March 1st. So March 1st, if we go back to March 1st, you're looking at it trading at about $57. You didn't have a cross up. It was a secondary cross up. But your initial price was $52.86. You could have ridden this one all the way up to $80 in June. So, 60. But if you held on to this one, you're kind of in the same thing. Now, here's the thing. The algorithm actually loses you 30%. Because energy has been such a horrible trade for the last 10 years, holding on to this one, buying and holding this for the last 2 years, you made 136%. I remain convinced that $60 is the pivot point on this one. You just had a cross up a couple days ago, February 24th at 55.12. You're trading right now at 53.99. I'm going to add to my position. I like energy. I just think right now, energy for me, you're in a supply glut because demand is down in China. The second China comes out of this thing, you're going to see things just skyrocket in my mind. CrowdStrike, this is not going to be a good one. I've gotten in and out of CrowdStrike several times. I am still in. March 1st of last year, you were trading at $200. You're at $119 right now. The algorithm loses you 45%. Buying and holding this one loses you 40%. I am a big believer in cybersecurity. We are in the middle of this run. It still has confirmation. $97 was the buy here on January 11th. You're trading at $119. There is a gap up here to $136. I don't know if you hit that gap, but cybersecurity is just something that people will need to spend on. Their earnings are coming up March 7th. So I don't know if it's 100%, hey, you're going to have a great one. This one has just been a mess, kind of all the way down. But I said, hey, CrowdStrike's a good one. I'm in this one. I think I'm currently holding at a higher price. Another one that we were talking about March 1st of last year is Palo Alto Networks. Again, cybersecurity. You go back here to March 1st of last year and you were trading at 588. Today you're at 187. My average purchase price on this, I believe, is around 180. You just, fell off a cliff. March 10th, you just fell off a cliff. You basically got sent down about half price. Then you had a 3-for-1 split around here. You've had, obviously, many times to get in this. Between 160 and 180 is kind of the price that I think you're going to be trading at. Do we get back up to 600? No freaking way. They're going to turn profitable. I think it's next time they're going to turn profitable. So you're going to see probably a $200 stock on this one. But it's down a little bit today. The purchase here was December 30th, 138, and you're up at 187. The algorithm makes you 2% on this. Buying and holding this over 2 years, you made 67%. It was just overvalued at this point when it was up at $600. So a shipper, and this was one that at this time last year, at this exact time, GOGL was paying a 28% dividend. This was when shippers really got into the swing of things. And March 1st, you had a cross up here, I think at about $12. Let's see. March 1st, you were trading at $12.33. And there's the 28% dividend right there. You immediately shoot down. You got up. You went up here to about $14. About $14 right there. You went all the way up to $16 here in May. And then you just lost it. And you continued to lose it. Now, the algorithm loses you nothing. It's 0%. If you bought and held this one for 2 years, you'd make 60%. So, again, the algorithm for 2 years just doesn't perform on this one. Getting in and out in this one, I think, is a good move. Again, 60% over 2 years, I'd take it. But in my mind, I think there's clear times where you can get into this one. Now, we did have a cross up here on February 23rd at $9.95. You're still in that. It's at $10.57. You have an ex-dividend. Let's see what their dividend now is. I don't think that they pay as much dividend. It's a 7.71% dividend. You just went past it. September 26th, Jeffries said buy to hold, and they reduced it down to $10. You're trading at $10.38. Your 52-week high is $16.46. Your target price is $12.23. So you still got 20% if you want to go for the target price. February 18th, they beat expectations. You can read a little bit about it. But that was a great trade last year. I'm out of it. A great one. I just went over Cleveland Cliffs. At this point in time last year, I said buy Cleveland Cliffs because it was in a good run. I said, hey, I think you're looking at a $30 stock. With the invasion of Ukraine, blah, blah, blah. You had this cross up here at 21.18. Well, that 21.18 consisted of a run up to 33. The algorithm got you out around 31, but it ran up to 33. Great opportunity. Now, the algorithm over 2 years makes you 49%. Buying and holding makes you 52%. This one has been in an absolute trading range for 2 years. And it's been on the way up. If we just look at, we'll go to a weekly chart on this one. You can see for the last 2 years, we'll go back to March of 2021. You've gone up, you've come back down, you've gone up. Buy it when it hits the 200-day, sell it when it hits resistance level. Clear as day. Right now, you'd be in it. Again, 21.59, 21.60. It might come back down to 20. I'll just continue to add to it. I think you're in the middle of some materials being good to buy. Bank of America was one I brought up. Bank of America, I continue to say, under $30, you should buy it all day long. March 1st of last year, it was selling around, I think the price target was $40. This was trading around $42. Buying it at this time, I said, hey, I think around 40 is probably your swing. A couple days later on March 11th, we had $40. That's exactly what I was saying. $40 was the swing. You could have gotten a 5-6% on that one. Now, here's one. Buying and holding this one over 2 years loses you 5%. The algorithm makes you 10% on this one. So just kind of take a look. The algorithm, it's definitely 100% stock reliant on whether you're going to make money or not. It's identifying those stocks. So it's not like, hey, this algorithm works on everything. It's identifying the right stocks in the right sectors in the right places in the right times. So BAC is one that I have in the core portfolio. It's at 34.31 today. We are out of it. It's starting to get a little crossover. It's at this 200-day. It's using the 200-day as its support level. I'm not sure if it does go back down. Let's look at the auto fib. If it goes down, you're looking at probably 33 to 31. Those would be great buys for this one if you can get down to that level. The RSI right now is at 40. The MACD's crossing over. Probably going to have a buy on this one, 34, 35 or so. Marvell, MRVL is one too. This is one that we went over a year ago. The algorithm loses you 38% versus buying and holding makes you 5%. Ironically, you just had a cross up on this one too, 45.20. Let's scroll back to March 1st of last year. And where were we on March 1st of last year? We were in the 60 level. So this is a chip. Obviously, chips have performed horribly. Your average win on this one is 10%. And at 45, their earnings are coming up on March 2nd, tomorrow. Maybe a good time to get in there. The other one that I brought up was Costco, March 1st of last year. And the rumor was we were going to get a membership increase March 1st of last year. And I think it was significantly higher on March 1st of last year. Let's look at March 1st. March 1st, you had this cross up here at 514, right on March 1st, 514.30. You're trading at $480. It's under 500. Like I said, over the year, buy under 500, sell when it's over 400. The algorithm over 2 years makes you 65% in this. Just buying and holding makes you 50%. Your average win is 10%. You don't have confirmation right now. Your RSI is down at 32. It's close. 480 seems to be a good price point. And if their earnings are coming up it's coming up tomorrow. I mean, if these guys announce a price increase, a membership price increase, boom. And by the way, Costco hack. You don't have to be a member of Costco to shop there. Get somebody to buy a gift card and you can shop there without a membership. So there's a just life hack for you. I don't go to Costco because I live alone. Aki, I think his name is on Instagram, asked me to look at COP. And I told him, hey, yesterday we had a cross up on COP at 105.60. You're trading at 104.80 right now. So it's a little bit down. I'm a big believer in energy. Again, Devon I'll probably be adding to. Oxy I'll probably be adding to. PXD I'll probably be adding to. Those are three just that off the top of my head that you could probably add to. MPLX, great dividend. I currently own it. So COP, kind of the same thing. I mean, you're down below the 200 day. 200 days at 118. You only need 115 for about a 10%, maybe about 112 or 116, 117. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, get your 10% out of this one. Their ex-dividend date is coming up on March 28th. They have a pretty good dividend, I think, 5.17. So pretty good dividend. Dollar Tree reported earnings, DLTR, and they were kind of good. It's up 5% in the market today. I will tell you that the gap up above, if we are heading into a recession and these guys are going to continue kind of quote unquote killing it, the gap goes to 164, which puts you in a 10% gain. It's selling at 151 right now. You had a cross up right before earnings. We talked about it yesterday, 146. So you're up 4% today. I think the gap, again, if we're heading down, this gap probably goes up. But your RSI is significantly high. It's at 62. So they made $2.04 per share. The algorithm makes you 11%. Buying and holding this one over 2 years makes you 43%. Your average win on this is 14%. So it's an interesting one. I think it was Brandon, Brittany bitch, posted on a Facebook group early in the morning. NVIDIA filed for an S3 registration, mixed shelf offering of as much as $10 billion. It doesn't mean that they're going to do it, but most likely they will. And the company has not disclosed the specific terms of the offering or when it will be completed. However, NVIDIA has stated that it intends to use the funds for general corporate purposes, including capital expenditures, investments in research and development, and potential mergers and acquisitions. That's ARM. So they're looking at merging. They have a significant stake in China. I don't know if they'll complete the purchase of ARM, but their ex-dividend day is coming up on March 7th. It's not a huge dividend. I think you can probably get this closer to the 200-day, which would be under $200. I think under $200, you're absolutely loading up on this one. I think that's the case. So Salesforce posts after the bell today, and this will be interesting because there are several activists in this one. I own this one with a purchase price around $180. I think I purchased it. I've held on to it. Their earnings should be decent. I mean, here's the one thing I know about Benioff and the one thing I know about Salesforce. This is not a demand problem. This is 100% guys in blue suits with brown shoes who have Amex cards taking people out to steakhouses in New York. It's 100% what it is. It's the salespeople. So it's expenditures. And so what you're seeing in the activists is, hey, your costs are out of control. You don't need all those salespeople. That's what they're going to do. So maybe there's a plan in here. You're just getting out of a 20% run in this one where it got you in on December 14th at 135. You got out February 17th. You're seeing a little cross up right before earnings. I don't know that I'd necessarily buy into it today. I may add to my position. Again, I'm significantly higher. The problem you have here is the multiple. The PE is 590. The forward PE is 27. They are going to have to bring down their costs significantly so that they earn more money. You are literally in the middle of your 52-week range. 126 was your low. 222 was your high. So year to date, you're up 23%. Over 1 year, you're down 21%. There is no dividend, so you're counting on capital appreciation of this one. But I think you'll see fairly big move in this one. I mean, again, if they address the there's five activist investors that are in this one. They're going to be pushing for them to optimize their business, and I think they can. So it'll be interesting. Lowe's announced mixed results. LOW. This is the DIY company. Home Depot is the contractor company. But 205.65, ironically, we had a cross up. It's probably going to cross back down, so I'd be a little bit careful. I say that 200 is your kind of pivot point on this one. Buy it under 200. You can sell it over 200. So I like this one. In fact, I have to go to Lowe's today to return some insecticide some weed and feed stuff that I bought. I went there, I bought it, and I've got Poa grass. And again, I geek out on gas, so Poa grass. Procter & Gamble got an upgrade. They are down. They got an upgrade. It's 137. PG is the thing. This is just a mainstay. Kind of super boring. You can invest in it if you want. It's a super boring one. We talked about Tesla and their investor day. I've gone over Tesla enough. 200 for me. Buy it under 200. Sell it when it's over 200 if you want. I'm currently out of it. It's at 202 right now. I think, again, I'll probably be buying it if it dips under 200. KSS Kohl's is a big, they were down huge. They opened at 26.50. Right now they're trading at 29. They're up 3%. They missed earnings. This is KSS. They missed earnings big. They lost $2.49 a share. And they plunged in pre-market. Let's go over to Active Trader Pro because I will show you. This was one that was going crazy. Let's look at KSS because I think you could have gotten this at 24 this morning. Yeah, you went down to all the way down to 24.06 in pre-market. You are the upper end of the Bollinger Band. Again, if you bought at 24 and you're at 29 right now, that's $5. That's a 20% swing within what? And 2 hours? 20% within 2 hours for a main retailer. That's heavy. They said something. There is some unusual activity that's identified in this one. This does not have a cross up yet. It probably will. Their ex-dividend date is coming up March 13th. Take a look at their, some of the filings that they did. If you're interested in this one, I'm not a huge fan of Kohl's. They have a 7% dividend. Year to date, they're up 10%, by the way. It's got a PE of 6. Initiated coverage from Goldman. They had $27 price target. Yeah. Go and read some of the reports. Let's see. August 24th, a bunch of people bought at $29. Insiders, but nothing of huge. They're all putting in pools. Or they're buying it for pools. So I don't know if I would necessarily buy. My favorite retailer, it's Macy's. I mean, it's boring. $20 is kind of your pivot point on this one. You're trading at $20.97. You don't have a cross up. Their earnings, were they today? Let's see. It is pre-market tomorrow. Pre-market. So I like Macy's. Kohl's is up. I mean, let's take a look at why Macy's at $20.92. Kohl's, their PE is 6. Macy's PE is 4. Macy's has a dividend of 3%. They're down 0.1%. Kohl's is up because people are saying that people are going to buy them, blah, blah, blah. But if it's me, I'm shopping at Macy's. Honest to God, I'm just shopping at Macy's. I wanted to talk about PFF. This is an ETF that I owned for years. It puts off 5%. We had a cross up of this one at 32.63. Their main holdings are, you can take a look. I just Google PFF Holdings and you'll find the webpage that I'm at. It's iShares.com. Wells Fargo, Citigroup, Bank of America, PG&E Corporation, Danaher, Nextera. This is just a mainstay that seems to trade within a trading range. The 52-week range is between 29 and 36, and it puts off a 5% dividend. Now, that's a big trading range. When I was owning this, the trading range, I believe, was within like 34 to 35. It was prior to COVID. It was a long, long time ago. And here, we'll pull up a weekly chart of this. And you can see prior to COVID, it just traded in this range, right around the 200-day. It is so low below the 200-day right now from a weekly that I think you've got 36 in this one, and it's crossing up at 32. Now, the RSI is a little high. The MACD is a little bit high. So maybe this is the new range that it's putting in. But I was telling the YouTube audience, I had a friend, uncle, who owned multi-million dollars, just put his entire thing in this one. And he's like 5%. They're not messing with the dividend. It's going to be 5-6%. So he liked it. So cross-ups, we talked about TGT, target 168. It's down at 164. Again, I think you're using that 200-day as support level at 160. You can wait for 160, but I do think that you have this upper range here in this 176. I think that's the gap that has been filled, but I think that's where you're going. I like Target. Their earnings weren't as bad as everybody said. OIH, Van Eck Oil Services. We talked about this one potentially having a cross up, 317.91, and that took place yesterday. 317.91. It looks like coal is back. Arch Resources had a cross up, and it's a secondary cross up. The initial cross up was 146. You're at 160 right now after their dividend is paid. There's no more catalyst in this one. 160 seems to be, going up and maybe covering this gap again at 162. If you like coal, Arch Resources. It's not a bad one. Albemarle. I talked about this one. This one took a dump after earnings. It's coming back. 257 is the buy-in point. It's trading at 255. I honestly, I think you're getting back up to this 279. You've got this gap up here at 300, which may need to be covered. You've got your ex-dividend date coming up March 16th. I don't think they pay a huge dividend, but let's see. 0.62. Its PE is 11. There's that mining's specialty chemicals. I think they do lithium and stuff like that. Yeah, lithium, bromide, and catalysts. So the average target price is 313. You're trading at 254. So they've had their earnings. Their ex-dividend date is coming up. So not too many catalysts on that one. BTU, Peabody, which is another coal company, cross up at 27.28. I think you probably have 30 in this one. You've gone past your catalyst because your earnings were really good. They ran up on earnings. Then it just pulled back. Now you've kind of got the RSI kind of in the middle at 54. You might have 30 in this one. But 27.28 is the price point on that one on the cross up. UCO, we talked about this one yesterday. It had a cross up at 27.28. I'm sorry, 27.67. You're trading at 27.43. Oil kind of went down. I don't think it's a bad buy on this one. I think you're getting an average price. I don't know that I'd rush into this one. Again, I think, having some patience might help. But oil's gonna pop. Oil's gotta pop at some point in time. Lithium Americas, LAC. We have a cross up in this one. 2360 is the cross up. Your earnings are coming up on March 14th. So you just got out of a 20% gain on this one where you bought in at 18. You're at 2360. It's clear that 200-day is providing some resistance. So be careful getting into this one because the RSI is it's in no man's land at 53. The RSI the MACD is crossing up right on the oscillator line. This one could go either way, honestly. But LAC had a cross up. XPEV, Chinese car company, XPeng. Their earnings are coming up on March 16th. China, huge opening. It's getting ready. This is a government probably funded and backed. This is the one I believe that Elon was suing because they stole autopilot. I mean, it looks identical to autopilot in China. And it looks, the software looks, there was an engineer that went over to work for them, blah, blah, blah. $8.94 is the price to the buy on this one. You lose 65% on the algorithm. You lose 70% just buying and holding. Your average win on this is 23%, but that's because it's ran up. You haven't had a lot of wins on this one of recent. This goes back to July of last year, and it's just been a downtrodden one. It's used that 200-day as a total resistance level. But I wanted to bring that one up. We went over lows. China stocks, PDD, had a cross up. And I wanted to bring them up because I think they're way up today. We had a cross up here at 88.04 yesterday. You're trading at 91. You're up about 5% today. It's just based on China opening up. BABA, I believe, is up 5% again. It's up 3%. You had a cross up here at 101. It got you right out. You haven't had a secondary cross up. You might have a cross up here. So $90, I've said that. $90 is kind of your pivot point on BABA. I think you can get back in. Maybe you can ride it all the way to 110. JD.com, another China stock. I want to just bring it up. It's up 3%. China stocks are just up. You're having a cross up on this one. Probably show up in my list tomorrow. You've got a gap here between 49 and 52. You're trading at 45. So JD.com might be one to get into if you want that one. Coin had a cross up. Coinbase, 64.84. You're trading at 64.88. 64.84 is where you crossed up. They lost $2.46 per share. I don't know that this is a long-term one, but trading-wise, I don't think it's a bad one to trade in. If you believe in crypto, if you have a Coinbase account, I think you could buy into this one. I don't know the tops of this one, but buying it at 64, if you hit 70, you got your 10%. I would be happy with a 10% gain in this one. You're just getting out of a 57% run. Just be aware, the last gain in this one was 57%. So coin. One of my weekly favorite that I am still holding, CAT. We talked about it up here. I bought it like 270 something. I'm still holding. I think it was 263. I bought it the very high right here. It just continued. I was the curse. I was the mush. 239 is the cross up. You're trading at 245. There was this buy at 246. You kind of got out. There's a gap up here between 257 and 260. I'll probably add to it here at 239. I think I hold one share. I'll probably add a couple more. Again, infrastructure. I think we're good there. AVGO, which is Broadcom. This one had a cross up at 595. 596 is where it's trading. The algorithm makes you 2%. Buying and holding this one, 28%. Your earnings are coming up tomorrow. Is it tomorrow pre-market or post-market? It is post-market tomorrow. So chips maybe in favor now. AMAT, Applied Materials. This one had a cross up at 117. So the algorithm actually on this one loses you 20%. Buying and holding makes you 1%. So it's just made a complete round turn. And you were in it for some of it, out of it for a lot of it. But again, 1.72 is what you would get for buying and holding. The average win is 12%. The problem is you only win 28% of the time. But this one's a little, again, these are a little bit stretched, currently above the 200-day. Marvell, they're going to announce earnings, and you have a cross up here right before earnings at 45.20. They're up above the 200-day. I mean, again, if chips continue to provide positive guidance, those three will move. They'll move absolutely. BlackRock. This is one that has been on a slide since probably November. You're under the 200-day, but it's got a MACD cross up here at 689. Their ex-dividend date is March 6th. And let's see. I think they play a pretty good dividend, 2.9%. Year to date, you're down 3%. These guys manage real estate. I mean, that's essentially what you're buying in here. They've had some redemption problems, blah, 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 like rumors. Nothing crazy. It's still a good company. Some conservatives want to get out of it because the CEO has been a little bit constructive, I should say, in ESG stuff. So BlackRock, BLK, Shitty Group. We have a buy at Shitty Group. I think $50 is your pivot on this one. I think you could go back down to the 40s, but I think 50 is probably 47 is your 200-day. You got gaps all over. You're in this ascending triangle. You're kind of in the middle of the ascending triangle. $50. I think you're rolling the dice on this one. You're past all your catalysts. This one has had a really good run from December till February. You had a 14.7% gain on that one. And the final one that I'll bring up is RIG. And boy, God, any reaction in the market is an overreaction. RIG announced earnings and they lost 49 cents per share. And immediately the stock traded from $7 down to $5, $5.61 in the morning after. The RSI was down at 28. I kind of covered this one on earnings. I said Jim Lebenthal likes it. Buy it on a rebound. I said it was too high, even though you got out at the 32% gain right before earnings. 561 was the buy. You have a cross up here at 699. You're trading at 706 right now. 706 is where you're trading. It's just continuing to go higher. The RSI is in no man's land at 53. You're crossing up right on the oscillator. I think you could continue to move on this one. There is no catalyst. These guys are moving oil across the oceans. They get to basically name their price, Yeah, I mean, wider than expected loss in Q4. The average target price is $6.15. So you've got to be careful. It's a little bit expensive. It is year to date up 55%. Over 1 year, you're up 100%. If we go and we look at the insider buys, February 15th and February 13th, these guys are selling at about this price, $7.18 and $7.15, but it's pool money. I'm telling you, $183,000, $357,000. That's the president and CEO and the chief accounting officer. So in February, there were a bunch of option exercises. They don't really matter, but the SVP chief accounting officer, David Tonell, looks like he sold about, I'd say 1.2 million or so, maybe close to a million, less than that. But that was between January and February. Again, he's probably putting a pool in his house. That's all it is. So there you go. I'm trying to keep it under a half hour, but I'm chatty. So if you got this far, hit the like button. Also, go and look at my new hairstyle on YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube. Join the Facebook group, the private Facebook group. If you like TrendSpider and you want to use TrendSpider, go ahead and sign up using the link below. I thank everybody for signing up for Visible Service. I'm gonna start a partnership with TurboTax. So if you're waiting for TurboTax, look for that one as well. Also, and I want to tell you this, I work for ID Shop, and IDshop.com. If you have any needs, parking passes, custom ID badges, anything, go to IDshop.com. Look at it. It's a family-run business. I tell you, Travis, who owns this company, who's the CEO of this company, best boss I've ever had. He's not paying me for this. He probably doesn't even know that I do this. But these guys do security stuff. You can call them. You can just go online and look at it. You can call, make an order. They are fantastic. Best company I've ever worked for. And I'm going to start, I'm giving them free sponsorship. ID Shop. Go and look at what they do. This is the company that I go and do MLS stuff for. So they work with Major League Soccer in providing these custom ID badges. So for on-field credentials and VIPs and security stuff, that's what I do. I travel around with a printer, a laminator, and we pre-print a bunch of things. You send them a file, and they'll pre-print all the custom badges for events. And if you get lucky enough and you have a business, I get to come and come to the event and do that for you. So idshop.com, big fan of theirs. And you can tell them Gary sent you. They probably know me. If it gets to Travis, Travis will know. Just say, hey, Daily Stock Pick sent me over. But yeah, I love Travis. I mean, honestly, best boss in the world. So yeah, any questions? Hit me up. Talk to you guys later. I am going to put ID Shop as my sponsor. I thought of that last night, and then I was thinking while I'm going over sponsorship stuff, why don't I just say Travis is my sponsor? He doesn't have to pay me. I don't care. Honestly, good company, good service, good people. You don't have to pay me. I've worked for him for 2 years now as a contractor, not an employee. But he's awesome. NMM. What's NMM? It's a shipper. Shippers, man. Shippers are hot now. 27.23. And it's trading at 27. You're past your earnings. What's your real catalyst here? Let's see. Chart looks like it could rebound. Your PE's 1. Dividend 0.74. You're up 4% year to date. Performance over 1 year, you're down. Average target price is 39. Larry's right. No real monkeys in on this one. No insider buys. Dry cargo. Man, I used to really be into, like around COVID, I was trading all these shippers. NMM looks good. It's just, it's a micro cap, man. Let's see what their share, average daily share stuff is. Yeah, right now you've only traded 20,000 shares. Your average 10-day volume is 214,000. Your 90-day is 163,000. It's only got a 1% short interest on it, so I don't think you're in danger of it being squeezed down by shorts. Your 52-week low is 19. Your 52-week high is 37. I think if I'm looking at NMM, I mean, you're in that one. The algorithm, by the way, loses you 11%. Buying and holding makes you 43%. So this is one that it's just gotten you in on too many losers. And it's probably because you just hold on to it too long. See how kind of crazy this is? The algorithm, again, it plays in this middle space, but it waits to get you in, and then it waits to get you out. I would kayak, and I've thought about getting not an actual hard bottom kayak, but the blow up kayak. The problem I have with kayaking is, I'm such a ginger. I get so sunburned with kayaking, but it's a great, and you're right, on your joints. Hey, Tesla's under 200. But you're right, Brian, man. Kayaking, I've got a Peloton bike upstairs, a Peloton hack bike. It's a Sunny bike that I got off of Amazon. Save. I'm gonna move you over there. Let's look at Boyle. Did Boyle lose its regain its confirmation? It did on open. It regained the confirmation on open. Boyle's syncing up, boys. Get ready to ride. Saddle up. Although the markets did take a leg down. I like PXD under 200. I need to get into that one. Thanks for the reminder, Sherry. I got to do that in my parents' account is where I want to buy that one. I'm going to upload this. PXD. It kind of ran up a little bit. I mean, 202, that's only 1%. But I do like it under 200. New episode. Wow. I had 100 people overnight follow me on oh, no. We're going to delete episode. Okay, new episode. Create an episode. Browse. I think I spent too much time going over an error. Ooh. Okay, new episode. Create an episode. Man, I'm really having problems today uploading this. Transitions. There we go. Insert ad. Boom. Okay. Snowflake reports after the bell. my back just cracked. Tesla's back over 200. Man. Sherry, thank you for that reminder. I have to send my mom's birthday is tomorrow, so I have a reminder to send flowers as well. Missed a bunch of FaceTime calls from my parents. I'll look at Claire. Let me see, Claire. I don't see KLUR. Brian, I don't see KLUR. I don't have a chart for it. Let me get these notes in. Copy. Oh, man. Let's see. 11. Why is there 11? Okay, let's see. I'm going to take this. Oh, it's 11 every. That's why. Let's see. Oh, wow. Something's going on with this. Why is this 3,547 out of 4,000? Oh. Huh. That's weird. Let me just copy. There we go. Okay. Let's just do paragraph style monospaced. Boom. And copy. Paste. Nope. It's not going to do it. Okay. Let's do this. Copy. Now, why is it not doing it now? Oh, episodes. We're going to delete this. Yes, delete this episode. Man, I'm just going to upload this, and I'm getting so frustrated. Save changes. Okay, episodes. New episode. Oh, man. Mother effer. New episode. Browse. Podcast. An error has occurred. Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to log out. Okay. Sign in. I wonder if they're having problems or if it's just me. Anchor does this sometimes. What? Insert. Okay. Yeah, those penny stocks, Brian. Sometimes you just can't find anything about them. And rule number 1, Brian, don't listen to a douche on the internet. Especially somebody called penny pickers. That's like if you're in the private Facebook group, Warrior Trading. Guys like, hey, sign up for Ross's free picks. But we're having a discount. And I think the regular price, and it's some crazy number, $8,316.29 or something. And he's having a $5,000 off sale. And he's like, hey, here's the value. No, Ross is good. Ross makes a lot of money. He does really well, but he also puts a lot of capital on the line to make money. I'm going to look at PXD. Guys, up to 204 now. PXD had a cross up. Man, PXD is running. I'm not buying into that strength. Costco at 477. By the way, really good news by Eli Lilly today, cutting insulin prices. What's their stock doing? Save episode. Okay. Okay, that's good. this. Okay, that's good. And then earnings, CRM, Snow, Okta. And please tell me I'm going to be able to save this. I like it, Sherry. You're bargain hunting. I'm going to buy Tesla under 200. See, the problem is my parents own a ton of Tesla, so I don't want to buy it in their account, even though I do believe that you can trade that one really well. I think they're published now. I'm not even going to put this on Twitter. You know what? Let's do it. Let's put it on Twitter, but I'm only going to. This just doesn't get me anything. SPY, QQQ. That's all I'm doing. Yeah, buy it on sale. Okay. Let me see. Let me make sure the episode got up there. Yep, it got up there. I'm gonna keep ID shop up there. PXD. It's up at 204, man. I should have bought it at 202, but I'm gonna go call my parents back. I'm getting out of here. It has been a while, so I wish you guys well. I hope you guys earn millions of dollars trading today. If you do, just remember to tip me. Remember the small guy here. But yeah, I'm going to head out because I got to run. I got a lot of stuff to do today. I got to become productive. And your boy has to turn white. The white hair. It's got to turn from orange to white. So, any questions, hit me up.